This is rewiring your brain for abundance. And once we get into this, things are going to start making a lot more sense than your brain expected today. And the moment you understand how your wiring works, abundance stops feeling mystical and starts feeling mechanical. So, picture this: same kitchen table, same mug, same morning routine I've been doing since the dinosaurs roamed the earth. Well, at least since the internet made strange sounds when you dialed up. Outside, London, Ontario is doing that I'm gray and mysterious thing it loves. So I take a sip, and then it happens. I feel this weird split. Half my mind planning the future like a sane, responsible adult, the other half spiraling like we're preparing for Y2K again. And here's the thing that grabbed me: it didn't feel like me thinking that way. It felt like a program, an old one. And that's when I sat back and thought, okay, if part of my brain is still living in 1999, what else is running on outdated wiring? Because once something feels like a program, you know you're dealing with conditioning and not destiny. And that single question opened the entire doorway into abundance. You see, your brain didn't evolve for abundance, it evolved for not dying. Your brain was not designed for abundance, your brain was not designed for expansion. Your brain was designed for one simple job: not dying. Your limbic system is still a tiny cave person with a torch yelling things like, stay safe, don't change anything, don't try new opportunities, please don't embarrass us. We haven't recovered from grade 3 yet. This is why scarcity feels more real than abundance. It's not because abundance is rare, it's because your brain tags unfamiliar futures as dangerous. So if your brain is designed to avoid new things, how do you create a future that's completely new? And that's where neuroplasticity comes in. And once you understand neuroplasticity, abundance becomes trainable. Your brain builds highways out of thoughts you repeat. Whatever you rehearse, your brain reinforces. Fear, highway. Worry, highway. Scarcity, the smoothest highway of all. It's been paved for thousands of years. But here's the twist: your brain will build an abundance highway if you give it the right emotional tone and repetitions. It doesn't care what you feed it. It doesn't care how often you feed it. That's why affirmations don't work for most people. The emotional tone doesn't match. So your brain goes, that's cute. Anyway, panic. But if emotional repetition builds neural pathways, then rewiring your brain for abundance becomes surprisingly simple. Not easy, but simple. And the moment you see this, abundance stops being a wish and starts becoming a neurological side effect. You can't think your way into abundance. You have to train your brain into it. Here's what actually shifts the nervous system. The first is the gratitude grid. The real version, though. Your brain can't tell the difference between remembering and experiencing. This is not generic gratitude. Your brain doesn't care if you're grateful for air, sunshine, or your cat's emotional support. What rewires your brain is specific emotional recall. Pick 3 specific things from the last 24 hours that genuinely felt good. Simple things. And then replay each one of those for 5 seconds. Those 5 seconds teach your brain this is what safety feels like. This is what goodness feels like. And this is what expansion feels like. And once your brain learns what safety feels like, abundance stops feeling dangerous. The second practice is future self journaling, but the grounded version. So your nervous system won't follow a future it doesn't trust. Most people turn this into fan fiction, and then your brain ends up rejecting all of it. The real version is simple. Write 1 paragraph as if you're your future self, the version who already lives in abundance, and you're writing to you about your day. So my future self wakes up calm, as an example, or my future self trusts time again. My future self isn't firefighting before breakfast anymore. When the future starts feeling familiar, your brain stops resisting it. And the third practice is the dopamine reset. Your brain can't want the future if it's drowning in instant gratification. We live in a dopamine flood: scrolling, alerts, notifications, distractions. Cheap dopamine kills long-term motivation, and abundance requires long-term reward. You don't delete your phone or become a monk. You simply reduce cheap dopamine long enough for your brain to recalibrate. Then after a few days, you suddenly want to do real things again, meaningful things, and future-building things. So your focus returns, your energy returns, and your sense of possibility returns. Once your brain remembers how to crave long-term reward, the whole world opens up. So let's bring it back to the beginning. You weren't fighting the future, you were fighting your wiring. Your brain wasn't wired to believe in abundance, it was wired to believe in survival. But survival wiring is not permanent, it's not your fate, and it's not who you are. Once your nervous system trusts expansion, your mind will follow. Your decisions follow, and your entire life follows. Slowly at first, and then suddenly. For me, this changed everything. I stopped wrestling with abundance like it was some cosmic riddle. I stopped trying to manifest it through tension. I stopped chasing it. Instead, I built a nervous system that could hold abundance without panicking. And when I did that, abundance didn't just feel possible, it became the next natural step. And if you want to explore this deeper, the quantum weaver and the lucid dreamer go into how the field interacts with your nervous system, how your abundance becomes a natural byproduct of coherence. Thank you.